Alright everybody, now it's come about that time. It's spring, the weather's warming up, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little spring cleanup on the bike. So follow me along. We're going to wash it, do a little bit of waxing, maybe take some scratches out if I can find any, and shine it up. You got to get ready for that riding season, right? So come along with me. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our towel, we're going to dry it off. That way we don't get any water spots on it before we go to wax and polish it and everything. So what we're going to do is just going to take a towel, try and go, I mean it's kind of hard on something like this because obviously there's so many curves to it, but try and go in as straight as line as you can. That way if you do end up scratching it, pick up something on the towel that scratches it, it'll be less noticeable when you're going in straight lines. Don't do the old circle technique your grandfather taught you. That's not how you do it anymore. Alright, now we got it all dry. There's a couple little spots here and there with a little bit of water that, go back over with the towel if you want. What we're going to do right now is we're going to focus on up here. From riding it, getting on and off the bike, you're going to have an area back here where there's going to be some scratches, unless you're really careful with your bike, which obviously I'm not. But there's a couple places back here on the back of the tank, and there's a couple places up here on the top of the tank from leaning over it. There's some scuffs and scratches. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring you in a little bit close, see if you may be able to pick up on it. I don't know. Some of them are kind of obvious. Others, because it's a black tank, black plastic, it's going to be really hard to see. So what I'm going to do, I'll bring you in. Hopefully you can see them. If not, believe me, they're there. I can see them. From where you're at right now, it looks really nice. It looks real shiny. But it's not. Trust me, there's many scratches and squirrel marks we're going to try and take out of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you in a little closer, take a look at it, and then we're going to start to try and polish it, and we're going to seal it, glaze, and then wax it on top of that. So let me bring you in real close here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, not sure how well you can see it, but here's a scratch. I'm sure I think you can see that one there, but mainly there's a couple scratches across the edge here. You can probably see them a little easier. There's one, I'm pretty sure you can see that one. So what we're going to try and do now is we're going to try and get all these scratches out of here. So grab your, what we're going to do is we're going to grab a polish, and we're going to start with a fine swirl remover. Maybe that'll get it, maybe not. If not, we're going to go a little bit deeper. So here we go. Alright, so as you can see, it worked a little bit on some of these ones up front, but didn't quite take that one out yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a little bit more abrasive polish and go over it again with that one, see if we can take a little bit more of the scratches out of it. And then we're going to come back to the swirl remover. And so the way you do it, you start out with a light polish. If that doesn't work, go to a medium, or go to a fine or a more coarse polish until you get the results you're looking for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to a little bit deeper cut and then I'm going to come up and finish off with the polish I just did. So that way, if you start out with a real abrasive polish, there is a very high chance that you could take the clear coat and completely eliminate the gloss out of it. So that's not what we're trying to do. What I'm trying to do is just take off some of the real light ones. The deep ones, I'm worried about it, but I'm not at this time. It's not something that you're going to see from 10 feet away. It's not. You're never going to see that on this kind of paint. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to a little bit more coarse polish, do the same thing we just did, and try and remove the scratches from here. And from there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work my way around the rest of the bike, and we'll get right back to you. All right, once you're happy with your results from that, if you get most of the scratches out, some of them are going to be pretty deep, on mine at least. So some of them kind of have to use your own judgment. Are you going to stand there for hours, days? We're just trying to bring back the shine. There's some scratches that are a little deep on here that I'm just going to let it go for now. Maybe later on spend more time on it, but for right now I'm just doing spring cleaning. So we got done. I'm happy with the way it looks right now. Now we're going to go back across it with a glaze. The glaze is pretty much going to look, feel, everything the same as the polish. Now some polishes are polish and glaze together. I don't do that. I do them separate. That way I know I got the polish done. Another step I'll do the glaze, and then for the last step, what we're going to do before we wax it, we're going to seal it. So I'm going to go across it one more time. We're going to glaze everything, and then I'll bring you back. I'll show you how I do the sealant, and then we'll come back for the last step for the wax, for the full reveal here. So let's get the glaze. All right, now we're done with the glaze. What we're going to do is we're going to go across it with a sealant, and what that's going to do is it's going to seal it from, hopefully from most of the imperfections. Now, the easiest way to do this, I get like a liquid form of it. I believe you can use a car detailer with this as well. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But I use this for when I'm clay barring as well. I didn't clay bar this. I've done it before. I don't see a need for it right now. So I use this as well, like I said, for clay barring, and it is a sealant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go across everything that we did. Now I did the headlights, I did the windshield, I did the tank, sides, everything. We're going to go across it with the sealant. So fairly easy. That's all you do. Spray it on, wipe it dry. Now I am using a microfiber towel for all my stuff, just because microfiber, I don't get any strands, anything anywhere, and less chance of me scratching it with it. So alright, last thing we're going to do is we're going to add our wax to it. We're going to let it set for 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and buff it all off for the big reveal. We'll be right back. Alright, there we go. It's all done. Ready to go. Spring cleanup. See you out there. Be safe.